If you ignore the next 30 seconds, everything stays the same. Time keeps moving forward. Money keeps disappearing into solutions that promise results but deliver fatigue instead. But if you stay, I'll reveal the first of 3 vegetables avoided by the ancient Egyptian scribe Thoth, knowledge preserved for millennia by those who understood vitality at its source. This isn't an empty claim. Entire industries generate billions by feeding on your fear of aging, offering costly creams and elaborate treatments while keeping a simpler truth out of reach. What they don't tell you is that renewal doesn't begin in a laboratory. It begins in the kitchen through 3 ordinary foods so simple they're easy to dismiss. The first, which I'll share in a moment, was believed to support youthful circulation and vitality. Elite athletes still rely on it to push human limits, and the Romans prized it as a powerful aphrodisiac. Stay with me, because every minute of this video unlocks another piece of the system. Leave early, and you miss the full picture, the connections that make real change possible. If you're ready to challenge time instead of surrendering to it, write in the comments, "I choose to rejuvenate." Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. What if I told you that your fight against aging is a battle you've been programmed to lose? That every wrinkle that worries you, every grey hair that frightens you, every drop of energy you lack is part of a much larger plan? A plan not created by nature, but by a system that profits from your fear. For millennia, powerful knowledge has been kept under lock and key by sages like Thoth, the scribe of the Egyptian gods. He knew that the fountain of youth was not in magical springs or secret rituals, but hidden in plain sight in the very earth we walk on. This secret was deliberately buried. A multi-billion-dollar industry was built on your insecurity, convincing you that aging is a disease. They sell jars of creams with empty promises, expensive treatments that offer temporary results, and the idea that your body is a defective machine that needs constant repair. They keep you busy searching for the solution in laboratories, while the real, simple, and inexpensive answer is rotting in your refrigerator. The system needs you to feel powerless, to believe that youth is something you buy, not something you cultivate from the inside out. Think about it. You spend a fortune on external solutions, but what do you put into your body every day? The truth is that your lifeless skin, tired mind, and lack of energy aren't signs of age, but the direct result of a profound disconnection from what truly nourishes you. You've been taught to ignore ancestral wisdom, to despise the foods your ancestors considered sacred. They didn't have shiny packaging or aggressive marketing, but they contained the power to reverse the biological clock in a way that no modern pill can. The truth is, you can rewrite your biological history. You can reclaim the energy you thought you had lost forever. The knowledge to do this is not in some distant future, but in a forgotten past. It is in the records of Thoth, in the wisdom of the ancients, and now it is about to be revealed to you. The first step to reclaiming your power involves no cream or procedure, but rather the rediscovery of an intensely colored food, a vegetable that pulsates with the force of the very blood of the earth, and that has the power to rekindle the flame of your vitality. The first forbidden vegetable, the blood of the earth. This first secret pulsates in a deep red, the color of life itself. Beetroot is not just a vegetable, it's a code. The ancient Greeks, who understood the hidden languages of nature, associated it with Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty and love. They knew that any food that mirrored the color of blood contained a key to vitality. By consuming beetroot, you are not just nourishing yourself, you are performing a transfusion of vital force from the earth directly into your veins. It is an act of communion with the purest and most primordial energy that exists inside your body. A silent transformation begins to take place. The natural nitrates present in your blood are converted into nitric oxide, a molecule that scientists call the miracle molecule. Think of your arteries as roads that have become congested and narrowed over the years. Nitric oxide acts like a team of engineers, widening these roads, clearing blockages, and allowing blood to flow freely. Just like in your 20s. This renewed flow brings more oxygen to every cell in your body, from your brain to your muscles, from your skin to your vital organs. The result is almost immediate. Your mind becomes clearer. Mental fog dissipates. Your skin gains a healthy glow, as if it were being nourished from the inside out. The energy you felt with just a cup of coffee now flows naturally through your body throughout the day. It's no wonder the Romans used it as a potent aphrodisiac. and elite athletes consume it to break records. Studies show that its juice can increase physical endurance by up to 16%. Imagine what that means for your daily routine, your mood, and your life. To awaken this power, simplicity is key. Consume raw beetroot grated in a salad to feel its vibrant strength, or in fresh juices combined with the sweetness of an apple and the acidity of a lemon to enhance its absorption. This is not a complicated recipe, but a ritual of reconnection. Each sip, each bite is a reminder that the strength you seek is not in a pill, but in the earth. It is the first door that opens on your journey back to your most vibrant essence. This is the first pillar of the temple of your youth. By irrigating your body with the blood of the earth, you are preparing the ground for a complete cellular reconstruction. You are reopening the communication channels of your body, allowing vital energy to flow unimpeded. Beetroot is the force that opens the floodgates, clears the path, and nourishes the system with the raw material of life. It is the awakening of your circulation, the rediscovery of your inner strength. But simply irrigating the system is not enough. A river that flows strongly needs solid banks to prevent it from overflowing and being lost. The blood now flowing vigorously needs a master builder to repair the structures damaged by time. It needs a second element, an elixir capable of repairing the very foundations of its biology, rebuilding what has been worn down, and restoring integrity to its cells. And this restorative power is found in a leaf of deep green, the second forbidden vegetable, the green elixir of repair. If beetroot is the force that opens paths, spinach is the architect that rebuilds the walls. This often underestimated green leaf is actually a walking biological laboratory, a piece of plant technology designed for repair and rejuvenation. In ancient traditions such as Persian medicine, it was revered as a blood purifier. In Ayurveda, the Indian science of life, it is classified as a food that promotes mental clarity and spiritual peace. Its humble appearance hides a biochemical complexity that modern science is only beginning to unravel. Within each spinach leaf lies a symphony of nutrients working to rejuvenate your body at a cellular level. Chlorophyll, the pigment that gives it its vibrant green color, has a molecular structure almost identical to that of hemoglobin in our blood. Consuming chlorophyll is like giving your cells a bath of oxygen and liquid sunlight, stimulating the production of red blood cells and accelerating repair processes. It's the sun's energy transformed into matter, ready to be absorbed and used by your body to heal itself. But the power of spinach goes far beyond that. It's loaded with lutein, an antioxidant that acts as an internal sunscreen. Lutein accumulates in your eyes and skin, creating a shield against damage caused by blue light and ultraviolet radiation, two of the main causes of premature aging. An impressive study from Harvard University discovered something that challenges our notion of time. People who consumed spinach daily had the cognitive function of someone 11 years younger. It's literally giving your brain an extra decade of clarity and focus. Even deeper, spinach works to protect your genetic code. At the ends of your chromosomes are protective caps called telomeres. Think of them as the plastic tips of a shoelace. Each time a cell divides, these telomeres shorten a little. When they get too short, the cell stops dividing and ages. Spinach is rich in folate and other nutrients that help preserve telomere length, effectively slowing the aging process at its most fundamental source. Your own DNA, incorporating spinach into your life, is like starting a rebuilding process from the inside out. A handful in a green smoothie in the morning, sweetened with fruit, is not just a healthy drink, it's a daily pact with cellular repair. You're activating the body's natural collagen production, resulting in firmer skin with fewer wrinkles. You're providing your body with the exact tools it needs to repair itself, reverse damage, and build a stronger, more resilient structure against time. The body is now being irrigated by the strength of beetroot, and its structures are being repaired by the power of spinach. The temple of your youth is being restored. The walls are being rebuilt stronger than before. However, a temple, no matter how well constructed, cannot house the sacred if it is full of rubble and dirt. The next stage of this alchemy is not about building, but about cleansing. A silent purifier is needed to sweep away the accumulated debris and prepare the body for a state of absolute purity. The third forbidden vegetable, the silent purifier. Now that the foundations have been watered and the walls rebuilt, it's time for a deep clean. And here comes the third vegetable, a master of purification that operates silently and relentlessly. Celery, often seen as a bland, low-calorie snack, is actually one of nature's most underrated medicinal plants. Its appearance is deceiving. For the ancient Taoists who sought balance between body and mind, celery was a symbol of clarity. They believed that for vital energy, Qi, to flow freely, the body needed to be free of toxins, and celery was the perfect tool for this internal cleansing. The power of celery lies not in what it adds, but in what it removes. It acts as a natural broom for your system, sweeping away metabolic waste, toxins, and inflammation that accumulate over the years due to poor diet and stress. Its unique compounds, such as apigenin and luteolin, are potent anti-inflammatories that shut down chronic low-grade inflammation, the kind that silently destroys your joints, ages your skin, and compromises organ function. It's a true reset button for your body. Think of your system like a house that hasn't been cleaned in years. Beetroot opened the windows to let in fresh air, and spinach repaired the cracks in the walls. Now, celery brings in a cleaning crew. Its high concentration of water and specific minerals such as potassium and sodium acts as a natural diuretic, helping to eliminate excess fluids and bloating that make you feel heavy and tired. It also helps relax the walls of blood vessels, contributing to the reduction of blood pressure in a natural and safe way. Beyond physical cleansing, celery has a profound calming effect on the nervous system. Chronic stress keeps your body in a constant state of fight or flight, releasing hormones that accelerate aging. The minerals present in celery help calm this stress response, promoting deeper, more restorative sleep. And quality sleep is one of the most important pillars of rejuvenation. It is during sleep that the body performs its most important repair and detoxification processes. The most potent way to consume celery for this purpose is in the form of pure juice in the morning, on an empty stomach. This allows its cleansing compounds to act without interference, alkalizing your system and preparing your body for the day. A few raw stalks throughout the day also help balance stomach acidity and keep the purification process active. It's a simple ritual, but one that produces profound results in your mental clarity, digestion, and energy levels. With the 3 forbidden vegetables revealed, the rejuvenation process is in full swing. Beetroot opened the channels, spinach repaired the structures, and celery cleared the ground. The temple of your body is almost ready, cleansed, restored, and energized. The combined power of these 3 elements is already transformative. However, the wisdom of Thoth teaches us that a restored temple needs a guardian at the door, a protective force to prevent new threats from entering and undoing all the sacred work. You thought there were only 3, didn't you? But ancient wisdom always has an ace up its sleeve, a surprise element that ties everything together and protects the system. This isn't one of the 3 forbidden vegetables mentioned in the title, but a secret guardian, the seal that completes the circle. That guardian is garlic, a modest bulb that throughout history has been more valuable than gold. It doesn't seek the spotlight, but without it, the entire rejuvenation process is vulnerable. It's the silent guard that ensures the temple remains pure. The history of garlic is a testament to its power. In ancient Egypt, it wasn't just a spice. It was the daily ration of the slaves who built the pyramids, given to them to maintain strength and endurance under brutal conditions. There are records of a revolt that broke out when the garlic supply was cut off. Roman gladiators chewed it before entering the arena, not out of superstition, but because they felt its power increase their courage and physical strength. It was the original pre-workout supplement, the secret weapon of ancient warriors. This veneration was not unfounded. In medieval Europe during the Great Plagues, braids of garlic were hung on doors. This wasn't just folklore to ward off vampires. It was popular wisdom recognizing garlic as a protective shield against diseases that decimated populations. Today, modern science validates this ancient belief. Garlic contains a compound called allicin, which is released when it is crushed or chopped. Allicin is one of the most potent natural antibiotics on the planet, capable of fighting viruses, bacteria, and fungi. Think of your body as a castle. Beetroot opened the gates to let in vital supplies. Spinach rebuilt the crumbling walls. Celery cleaned the inner courtyard, removing all the debris. Now, garlic stands as a sentinel at the main gate. It strengthens your immune system in a spectacular way, ensuring that no invader, be it an opportunistic virus or a silent inflammation, can enter and sabotage the restorative work being done. In addition to its protective action, garlic is also a powerful purifier of the blood and circulatory system. It helps reduce blood pressure, lower bad cholesterol levels, and prevent clot formation, perfectly complementing the work of beetroot. It is a complete guardian that protects, cleanses, and strengthens. It ensures that your body's internal environment remains a sanctuary of health and vitality, immune to external and internal threats that accelerate aging. Knowing these four elements is the first great step. You now hold the keys to irrigation, repair, purification, and protection. However, the deepest secret of Thoth's wisdom lies not in consuming each of them in isolation. True magic, the alchemy that defies time, happens when these four forces meet and begin to work together within you, creating a symphony of rejuvenation that reverberates in every cell of your being. Now that you know the four guardians, you need to understand the magic that happens when they come together inside your body. It's not just about adding benefits, it's a chain reaction, a biochemical symphony, where each instrument enhances the other, creating a result far greater than the sum of its parts. The process of living, breathing, and generating energy creates a toxic byproduct called free radicals. Think of them as tiny sparks that jump from a bonfire, burning and damaging everything they touch, accelerating the aging of your cells. This is where the first part of the alchemy happens. Beetroot, spinach, celery, and garlic are loaded with antioxidants. They act like an army of microscopic firefighters patrolling your body and extinguishing those sparks of free radicals before they can cause a fire. Beetroot provides betalains, spinach lutein, celery apigenin, and garlic allicin. Together they form a complete protective barrier, neutralizing different types of free radicals in different parts of the body, ensuring that your cells remain intact and young. While antioxidants put out fires, the chlorophyll in spinach and celery acts as a high-performance oxygen delivery system. It floods your blood with oxygen, allowing your cells to produce energy much more cleanly and efficiently. A well-oxygenated cell is a happy cell, one that communicates better with its neighbors and performs its functions flawlessly. This abundance of oxygen also creates an alkaline environment in the body where disease and inflammation struggle to thrive. At an even deeper level, the compounds in these four plants act as guardians of your DNA. Flavonoids and folate act as genetic maintenance engineers, repairing small errors that occur during cell replication and protecting the integrity of your life code. At the same time, they help preserve telomeres, those protective caps at the ends of your chromosomes. Keeping telomeres long is one of the most effective strategies for extending the lifespan of your cells and, consequently, your own youth. And we can't forget about fiber, the often overlooked part of these foods. The fiber in beets and celery isn't just for digestion. It's the preferred food of the billions of beneficial bacteria that live in your gut, your microbiota. This microbial army is responsible for regulating almost everything in your body, from your immune system to your mood and hormonal balance. Feeding this army well is crucial for keeping inflammation under control and ensuring your body functions in perfect harmony. Combining all these actions is the true science behind the magic. It's a 360 degrees rejuvenation strategy. You're putting out fires with antioxidants, flooding the system with oxygen through chlorophyll, repairing DNA with flavonoids, and feeding your internal army with fiber. It's such a perfect biological symphony that it makes us question why we were taught to seek solutions in pills and not in what grows from the earth. Modern science explains how this works, but to understand why this knowledge is so powerful, we need to look at the living proof, the living testimony of transformation. The theory is fascinating, but nothing speaks louder than real-world proof. Imagine an ordinary man, let's call him Ernesto, at 65 years old. His body had become a map of pain. Waking up was an effort. Climbing a flight of stairs left him breathless, and his once sharp memory now constantly betrayed him. He had resigned himself to the idea that aging was this, a slow and painful decline. Tired of feeling like a shadow of his former self, and skeptical of miraculous solutions, he decided to try something radically simple, incorporating the four guardians into his daily routine. In the first week, the change was subtle, almost imperceptible. He noticed that his digestion was lighter without the usual heaviness and discomfort. By the end of the second week, something curious happened. He began to sleep through the night, a deep and uninterrupted sleep he hadn't experienced in years. He woke up feeling lighter, with less stiffness in his joints. His family, used to his complaints, joked about it, but he felt a spark of hope and persisted with his new routine. The turning point came after 2 months. One day, looking in the mirror, Ernesto noticed something he hadn't seen in a long time: a glow on his skin. It wasn't oiliness. It was a luminosity that seemed to come from within. His eyes, once dull and tired, now had a vital sparkle. His mind was clearer, and he found himself remembering names and facts with an ease that surprised him. He started telling jokes again, laughing loudly, and his energy began to infect everyone around him. It wasn't magic, it was biology in action. The beetroot was oxygenating his muscles and brain, giving him more stamina and clarity. The spinach was repairing his cells and protecting his DNA, reversing old damage. The celery was cleansing his system, reducing the inflammation that caused his pain, and the garlic was strengthening his defenses, protecting the entire process. Time didn't stop for Ernesto, but in his body, the biological clock began to run backward. One day, an acquaintance he hadn't seen in months ran into him and, shocked by his appearance, asked his age. Ernesto smiled, a mischievous glint in his eyes, and replied, "Which one do you want to know? The one on my ID card or the one on my birth certificate? Because my cells have just signed a new life contract." His story is not an isolated case. It is the predictable result of giving the body the right tools to heal and regenerate. The transformation of a man like Ernesto is living proof that the power to rejuvenate is within everyone's reach. It doesn't require expensive equipment, exotic supplements, or monk-like discipline. It only requires knowledge and the decision to apply it. His story shows what is possible. However, for this transformation to happen to you, it's not enough to just know what to include in your life. It's equally crucial to know what to avoid, because there are forces that can sabotage all your progress. Now that you know the path of light, you need to understand the path of shadow. In nature, the same plant that heals can also make you sick. The difference often lies in the dose, and especially in the preparation. Believing that every vegetable is inherently healthy is a dangerous mistake. A fresh broccoli steamed for a few minutes is a superfood, but that same broccoli boiled for half an hour until it becomes grey and mushy has lost its vital force and become a dead food that burdens your system more than it nourishes it. Think of a potato. In its natural state, it's a source of nutrients, but when you slice it thinly and plunge it into boiling reused oil, it transforms into a bomb of acrylamide and free radicals, compounds that promote inflammation and accelerate aging at a cellular level. You've taken a gift from the earth and turned it into poison. The cooking method can transform an angel into a demon. Frying, grilling at high temperatures until burnt, and using unstable oils are ways to destroy the vital force of food. Excess is also a silent enemy. Wisdom lies in balance. Spinach is a fantastic cell repairer, but consuming kilos of it every day can lead to an accumulation of oxalates, which can overload the kidneys and cause problems. Beetroot juice is an elixir for circulation, but drinking liters daily can flood your pancreas with sugar, even though it's natural, causing metabolic stress that negates its benefits. Nature doesn't operate in extremes, it operates in harmony. The key to rejuvenation is fighting chronic inflammation, and how you treat your food can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. An eggplant, for example, is like a sponge. If you fry it in rancid oil, it absorbs all that oxidized fat and delivers it directly to your cells. What was meant to be a vegetable rich in antioxidants becomes a vehicle for inflammation. Mindfulness in the kitchen is just as important as mindfulness when shopping. Pay attention to the signals the food itself gives you. Is it vibrant with vivid colors and a firm texture? Or is it wilted, sad, and forgotten at the bottom of the refrigerator drawer for a week? Food that is losing its vital force cannot give you vitality. Are you eating life, or are you eating death? Nature whispers its lessons. Prefer the fresh, the simple, the minimally processed. When we ignore these whispers, it screams through inflammation, fatigue, and premature aging. The warning is clear. Intelligence lies not only in choosing the right vegetables, but in honoring them with the correct preparation. What can be a powerful medicine in one bite can become a thief of years of life in a poorly prepared dish. Now that you know the secrets of the guardians and the dangers of the dark side, only one piece is missing to complete the puzzle: The final proof, the connection with the cultures that have never forgotten this ancestral wisdom, ancient mysteries, blue zones, and immortal cultures. The knowledge you have received is not a new discovery. It is rediscovered wisdom, a secret that has been practiced for centuries in forgotten corners of our planet. There are places in the world known as blue zones, where longevity is not the exception but the rule. Places like Okinawa in Japan, Sardinia in Italy, or the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, where people routinely live to 100 years old with health, lucidity, and vitality. And what do they all have in common? The secret lies not in their genetics, but in their lifestyle, and especially in their diet. Diets in these blue zones are composed of 90 to 95% plant-based foods. This is not a coincidence. It's a pattern. For these cultures, eating is not just an act of satisfying hunger, it's a sacred ritual, a way of honoring the body and the earth. The purple sweet potato of Okinawa, for example, a mainstay of their diet, is loaded with antioxidants that protect their cells from aging. They don't count calories, they cultivate energy. This wisdom resonates across various ancient traditions. In Ayurveda, the ancient science of life in India, there is an entire branch dedicated to rejuvenation called Rasayana. It teaches the use of specific foods, herbs, and practices to nourish the body, detoxify the system, and promote a long and vibrant life. In Taoism, diet is seen as a way to cultivate qi, the vital energy, seeking a type of immortality that doesn't mean living forever, but living fully and vigorously until the last breath. These cultures understand something our modern society has forgotten. Eating is a spiritual act. It's the moment when you take the life force from the outside world, the energy of the sun and the earth contained in a vegetable, and bring it within yourself. It's an exchange, a communion. They consume food in its purest and simplest state with reverence and gratitude. And the four guardians you've met: beetroot, spinach, celery, and garlic, are constant pillars in these longevity diets around the world. Ancient traditions confirm what the records of Thoth suggested. Youth is not something that is lost, but something that is neglected. Longevity is a conscious choice, renewed with each meal. The blue zones are not magical places, but living examples of the potential that exists within each of us when we align our lifestyle with the laws of nature. They are proof that a long and healthy life is not a distant dream, but an accessible reality. However, all this knowledge, all this theory, remains just a map. A map, however detailed, is useless if you don't decide to begin the journey. Knowing the way is one thing, but walking it is another. True transformation, the kind that changes your biology and your life, requires a final step. It's not a step of learning, but a step of commitment, a pact you make with yourself. The fountain of eternal youth has never been in some mythical place or in a laboratory flask. It has always been right in front of you, in your kitchen, on your plate, patiently waiting to be recognized. Now that you know the four guardians and the alchemy they create, the ball is in your court. True change doesn't begin with a restrictive diet or a complicated ritual. It begins with a decision, a conscious decision to stop fighting your body and start working with it. This is an act of rebellion, a rebellion against the narrative that aging is synonymous with decay and loss. It's you saying no to the fear industry and yes to the wisdom of nature. Visualize yourself for a moment in an ancient temple. Your own body. Before you on an altar are the four sacred offerings. Beetroot red as the blood of life, spinach green as the energy of creation, celery clear as purifying water, and garlic white as protective light. Every bite, every sip you take of these foods from today onward is a silent pact. It's a contract you sign with your own biology, a reminder that you are not condemned to wither, but rather programmed to flourish. Your friends may scoff, your family may not understand. Let them. They are still trapped in the illusion that youth is expensive. You have discovered the secret to a feast of vitality that costs less than a cup of coffee. The final decision lies on your plate, on your fork, on your next trip to the supermarket. It's not just about eating healthy, it's about making a statement to yourself and to the universe. A statement that you choose life, energy, vitality, that you choose to align yourself with the force of nature instead of fighting against it. Write that statement. Feel it in every cell. Live it in every choice. I choose to rejuvenate. May this be the cornerstone of a new phase in your life. A phase where your energy doesn't abandon you midday, where your skin reflects the health that vibrates within, and where your mind remains clear and sharp. The future isn't something that happens to you. It's something you build moment by moment, choice by choice. And today, you've discovered how to build a future of vitality with the simplest, most accessible, and most powerful tools that exist. The journey back to your life force doesn't begin tomorrow or next Monday. It begins now with your next meal, with your next choice. The knowledge has been delivered. The map is in your hands. The power to defy time and rewrite your biological history has always been with you. The only question that remains is, what will you do with it? If you've made it this far, you're not the same person who began this video. You've encountered knowledge that has remained hidden for centuries. Insight meant not to impress, but to restore. To quietly mark that you were here and received it, leave the words, "The temple is restored," in the comments. Simply reaching the end already helps this message travel farther than you might realize. If you feel drawn to support the channel more directly, know that it truly matters to me and to the growth of this work. In the first pinned comment, you'll find a link for anyone who wishes to contribute and help sustain more content like this. Any support is deeply appreciated. And if that's not possible, staying until the end and sharing this with someone you care about is already a powerful act. Before you go, remember this journey doesn't end here. I've prepared a follow-up video to guide you into the next step, where we explore these ideas more deeply and begin applying them in everyday life. Don't leave yet. Click the video now appearing on your screen, and let's continue there.